Welcome back to the Fan Channel Review. Get the like button smashed right now, people. Can't wait to read your comments below. A devastating night in the first leg for Arsenal. A brilliant night for their rivals. There's no doubt about it. We're going to look back on some of the brilliant content from last night, the takes from this morning, some funny bits in there as well. And look, I want to get your reaction. I want to get your thoughts on what will happen in the second leg. Are Arsenal out, as many are claiming? We're going to delve into some of the content now, though. Thank you to a few people that have sent some stuff in. I haven't actually seen it yet. So when we put it up on the screen, we'll read out who sent it to us, and KJ will put it up on the screen. But I want to start with AFTV. Robbie and lead judges here talking after the game. Let's take a little listen.
By the way, he's got to take a lot of play for it.
1 second. So who would you have played as?
I've told you how many more times I've got to fucking tell you.
Oh my God!
Fucking tell you. Skelly in midfield. Declan Rice stays insane.
No, but where's?
What does Robbie mean, where?
Wherever fucking holding midfielder, Rob.
So Lewis Skelly's holding midfielder.
Holding midfielder, yes. Declan Rice doing what he's doing.
When's he ever played there?
That's his position in the league and all that. What about?
When have you seen him play there?
When I've seen him playing, he's played it every fucking week in the youth team, Rob. Like every week. Have you seen him play fucking left back? When have you seen him play left back until he's fucking done it this season?
Lee.
Don't make excuses.
Lee.
Do not make excuses.
Lee, calm down.
Massive argument here. And I'm not going to lie. I tweeted yesterday during the game saying Arteta should have made subs 20 minutes ago. I would say 50-60% of the Arsenal fans who responded said, I agree, in one way, shape, or form. But there were a group doing what Robbie's doing here, which was, what subs? We have no bench. There was nothing the manager could do. That, for me, is ridiculous. In terms of Lewis Skelly, he inverts into that midfield role anyway and does a brilliant job. I don't think it was maybe necessarily wrong to start with the lineup that Arteta did. Where I think the criticism comes in for Arteta is there was a lack of changes. There was a lack of adaptation during the match, and things could have been done. Tierney could have come on at left back. Lewis Skelly could have gone into central midfield. Rice could have gone to the 8. Marino should have probably gone into that number 9 role. These changes could have come. Arsenal started well in the second half, maybe 60, 65 minutes. You make the change. You bring on some fresh legs. You give PSG something different to think about. Listen, of course, Lee Judges is angry here and he's crashing out, but I understand it. And look, I'm someone that has defended Arsenal against ridiculous punditry. The idea that Waneri was a vanity project, Lewis Skelly this season being kind of categorized as a thug. I'm going to call it out. I'll always banter people and call them out when they say they don't care about Arsenal, but yet they're reacting heavily to everything they do. That's fine. I'll do those things. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and say there was no other option for Arteta. There's nothing else he could have done to maybe change that game. I just think that is a ridiculous notion. A ridiculous notion to have. I'd love to get Arsenal fans' opinions on that in the comments section below. Give us your thoughts and give us your feelings.
Stop it. Get some help.
They didn't turn up. They didn't have that passion. You have players like Odegaard, and we're going to talk about Odegaard, but there was a famous program called The Simpsons, and there was a character called Mr. Burns. And some of Odegaard's tackles were like Mr. Burns. Like Smithers, like he'd run away. He'd run away from the ball. Second ball they won. That is unacceptable.
The analogy's not quite hitting, but I think I get what he means.
Acceptable in a semi-fucking final.
Look, Odegaard's rightfully getting a lot of criticism today. He's rightfully getting criticism. That was a ghost-like performance. He's had some brilliant times at Arsenal in the lead up to this season. Again, history cannot be rewritten. And there'll be a lot of people claiming, I told you I was always right about Odegaard. And if the claim was he's a brilliant player, but when the going gets tough, he fades away, then you could argue you're right. If your view was he's always been a trash football player, you're wrong, because he's had some really, really good moments. He's had some brilliant games and performances. But this is where Arsenal fans' mindset has got to adjust. Forget the debates and people you dislike online saying they were right versus people you like saying, getting called they were wrong. Forget all that nonsense. This is where Arsenal fans have got to start to nitpick now when it comes to your club. 110%, you've got to start to nitpick. You have got to start looking for those marginal gains everywhere you can. And I think naming a better captain, I think looking at a better option as one of your eights or as your attacking midfield player, as your main creator, has to be explored by Arsenal. And maybe, I don't know if Ethan Nwaneri's ready to take up that role just yet, but he came on for 5 minutes last night and looked more dangerous. And I think it's something Arsenal fans need to be pushing for their club to do. It's not a disrespect to Odegaard. It's about respecting your football club. Certain players will take you to a certain point, and then you have to move on from them. It's as simple and it's as straightforward as that for me. But Gooners, rivals, in the comment section, let us know your thoughts and your opinion on that. Up next, let's take a look here at what Wayne Rooney had to say last night.
I think for Arsenal, I was a bit disappointed with how they played, disappointed with the fans as well. I think the fans against Real Madrid were excellent and really pushed the team. I thought tonight they were a bit subdued, it was almost like an anticlimax that Arsenal beat Real Madrid, that they're going to walk into the final and win the competition.
It's interesting what Rooney said there. I've seen the fans criticise a lot for last night. I thought the atmosphere was quite flat. When that early goal from PSG went in, it just took the energy away. PSG compounded that by holding on to the ball for 20 minutes and not letting Arsenal have it. But it did feel a little bit maybe anti-climactic somewhat. There was a tweet as well that I saw from Aaron here that said thousands of people left the stadium with 5 minutes left in the club's first Champions League semi-final in 16 years. The atmosphere was so poor. This was someone at the ground. I think Rory Talks Football stated that there was lots of season ticket holders there, but then a lot of empty seats towards the end with people leaving. The atmosphere was poor, but what do you put that down to? I'd love to get your view on that. What do you put that down to? The video here I want to play for you, and I want to get you taking it, but take a little listen to this here.
Arsenal fans, and are we as Arsenal Football Club just falling into this trap of making certain games and certain occasions a little bit too big? There is a part of me that wonders if Liverpool were in a Champions League semi-final, having been there and done it and accumulated majors along the way, would they be putting out videos the same way that we were? Would they be smiling to the extent that we were after we beat Real Madrid? Would they be talking about those Declan Rice free kicks as much as we have been up until now? I'm not entirely sure. Sometimes we make the occasion too big to the extent that it shows on the pitch, and that for me is what it looked like today. This isn't those players played within themselves today. That was not an adequate or accurate reflection of their ability, and that for me was because it looked like they felt the occasion. Some of them.
A really good point here, and I think that plays into everything here, the fans and the players. Now, look, Liverpool fans, after their semi-final comeback, for instance, against Barcelona, were speaking about the early free kick and the comeback and everything else. And I've seen Liverpool fans in the past go crazy over moments in earlier rounds as well. So I don't think celebrating the free kicks from Declan Rice played a part, personally. However, there was a certain amount of hype around this game. And I'm going to play the video for you in a minute, even from Mikel Arteta. And maybe what has happened here is the level of anticipation was built up so high. The hype around the game was so high that the reality was never going to live up to the expectation. And it's almost like a fantasy. And we've all done this in one way, shape, or form in our lives, where you fantasize about something. And it could be, I can't wait when that movie drops, when that final season of my favorite show comes out, or when I listen, even in relationships, when I eventually get to kiss her, cuddle her, do the horizontal hula, right? And I'm talking real stuff here, real stuff. Sometimes you these things are released, these films come out, you get your moment with a certain lady in your life that you love, and then the reality of it is nowhere near as good as what you expected. Was there a little bit of that yesterday? Did the players go onto the pitch and think it's going to feel X, Y, and Z, and it actually felt not as good? Did the fans think it is going to be like the final whistle after we beat Real Madrid from the first minute? It wasn't, and it kind of took the wind out of them a little bit. And I want to ask you a question, because I don't have an answer to this. I genuinely don't. Are videos like this from Mikel Arteta right or wrong at this stage? Give me your opinion.
Our time. It's time to make it happen. I need you. I need the person next to you. I need that connection. I want you to play every single ball with us. Every pass, every tackle, every run, every decision. You need to leave the energy of that stadium and the people next to you. I count on you. Let's make it happen.
Is that too much? Again, I'm not making a judgment on this video individually. Like, I've seen Real Madrid make these videos as of late, and clubs build up the anticipation. They want fans excited. The TV companies do it. They want everybody locked in. And the world of football was locked in last night. Let's not lie about that. But maybe do Arsenal need to go into this second leg? And I'm giving you an example. No talk of comebacks or the greatest night ever. No talk of it has to be miraculous. It's got to be the greatest situation that we've ever been in. Maybe that type of talk could lead to a flat performance. You only have to look at the stats from last night. Arsenal had more expected goals in open play, more expected goals from set pieces, more XG on target. PSG made more passes. That's the truth. They made more passes and they were slightly more accurate in their passing. But passes in opposition half, Arsenal win. Final third, Arsenal win. Accurate long balls, Arsenal win. Accurate crosses, Arsenal win. Through balls, Arsenal win. Touches in the opponent's box, Arsenal win. Now, I know going away to Paris is more difficult, but maybe building this up as the greatest moment in, I'm speaking like an Arsenal fan for a moment, for everyone that wants to call me out, building it up as the biggest moment that we have faced. If that's maybe that will lead to an underwhelming experience. Maybe that will lead to too much pressure upon the players' shoulders. You saw Declan Rice before the game. If we don't have the ball, we die. They then overpressed in the beginning and got caught out like Liverpool did. I actually think a more relaxed approach could yield better results for Arsenal. I'd love to get your opinion on this in the comment section below, people. Get that done for us right about now. Up next, this was sent in to me by a viewer. And I'm going to I've got to read the message on my phone. He went, Terry, hang on, sorry. I have got the message here. Let me just go into my phone and into my DMs because I haven't got it open. This is from Paul. And Paul said, Terry, check this out. It's the funniest thing I've seen all day, even as a gooner. KJ, put it up on the screen. That is very funny from CBS. I'm not even going to lie. That is funny. And a lot of people are calling this out and asking why it wasn't a penalty. As I said last night, I think the ref had a shocking game. I think the ref had a terrible performance. I think the referee, he allowed too many little fouls to go in the game. Sorry, too many little fouls were pulled up on. And then he doesn't give that penalty. And again, I think Arsenal fans would be screaming for that. I think Arsenal fans would be screaming for it. I would want it. Consider it's in UEFA as well. UEFA normally give those penalties. How much less of a pull was it than the one Arsenal got against Real Madrid 2 weeks ago? Look, I'd love to get your opinions on that. I'd love to get your views on it. That is a great little piece of content and a meme there from CBS. Up next, right? And it probably wouldn't be a Football Terrace show without doing a little bit of exposure of TalkSPORT. Take a little listen to this.
Don't give up on us.
And that's exactly what happened. The crowd just
Honestly.
do you know what? Listening to the Arsenal fans now, listening to the crowd, I don't think they believe they can do this. And the truth is,
interestingly, not believing they can do it might actually help them relax in the second leg, like I was saying a few moments ago. But that's not the funny part of this video. Keep watching. I want to thank Paul. Paul sent this in to us as well.
they're one goal away, one mistake, one free kick, the game is on a balance. PSG will not believe this game is over. But I don't know whether Arsenal fans believe they can do it.
I don't think they believe.
That's very true. PSG will not believe the game is over. But you got to remember what Jason Cundy has said here. Okay, just listen to what Jason Cundy has said. Arsenal fans won't believe they can do it.
No, they all sound beaten.
Let's go.
They all sound beaten. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Let's take a collective together. And even rivals, right? Okay, because it's professional punditry. Okay. And even when it comes to banter, you got to be consistent. All right. We let it all sink in. They've given up. They don't believe. PSG won't think it's over. Arsenal fans have got to do better, is what he's just said. We all agree on that. Yes. I'm reading some of your comments. Yep, I can see them all coming through. Now, let's listen.
Josh, he's an Arsenal fan. He was at the game. Right, Josh?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm all right, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, about the game, I think all these Arsenal fans are looking at it from the wrong point of view. I think we're going to go in next week. We've got the away advantage because we've got the core away fans. We're going to beat PSG and we're going to get to the final and win the Champions League.
Wow, I mean, you've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous, haven't you? I mean,
it goes believe you can get through. The caller believes we'll go there and win. As I said, they'll batter them, and I think we'll go on and win it. Then you're ridiculous now. Cundy, I've got to give it to him. Maybe he's probably bantering a little bit here, but this is the irony in it. You can't call Gooners out for not believing, and then the first Gooner that calls in, you kick off because he believes. Oh, TalkSPORT. Honestly, they are absolutely hilarious. Listen, everybody that has tuned in, I want to say a big thank you to each and every single one of you. Get this shared in your social media groups. Please make sure you're subscribing to the Terrace, but get the bell notification button turned on. It's a little bell. You're probably already subbed. A lot of you are subbed. 60% of our viewers are our subscribers. So make sure you click on the bell notification button so that you always know when we re-upload content. Until next time, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon.